he holds no bars. If he doesn't want you to fight, if he doesn't like you, you're shit out of luck. Had no sympathy for them whatsoever. The stuff this guy has gotten away with over the years is insane. What is up today? Welcome back to Ty's World, which I think is what I'm going to name this channel. Anyway, today we have to talk about the elephant in the MMA world, the social media post and videos, and my monitor just shut off, that we've been seeing blow up across the MMA media space and sports media space because he is just that polarizing. He is just that popular. We're talking, of course, about the GOAT, quote unquote, depending on how you feel, Jon Bones Jones, who has recently took to social media saying that basically that he knows what he's been doing, and he told the UFC what he was going to do a long time ago, and that the UFC just has not announced that. Now, whatever that means, we have yet to see. But from what I can see, I'm thinking that it's him talking about retirement, or maybe some fight that he wants to do that isn't Tom Aspinall. And the UFC has basically told him that it's Tom Aspinall or nothing. And Jon Jones has probably told them that it's said fight or nothing. Now, a very interesting video has also come out recently of Jon in Thailand. Doing some very questionable things on the back of a moped. That's neither here nor there. Actually, it's happening in Thailand over there. But that's not here, and that's not what I'm here to talk about. Whatever you think is going on in Jon Jones' life. I'm here to talk about the blatant and just kind of questionable favoritism that Jon Jones is getting from the UFC. Now, we know Dana White when he talks about certain fighters, when he's talked about some fighters in the past, he holds no bars. If he doesn't want you to fight, if he doesn't like you, you're shit out of luck. I mean, there's been plenty of UFC fighters that have gotten stiffed in the past. Dana White has come out in the mic and basically had no sympathy for them whatsoever on the mic. But for some reason, Jon Jones just seems to be one of those guys that Dana White will let him do whatever he wants and say whatever he wants. Literally, I mean, the stuff this guy has gotten away with over the years is insane. And whether... And I mean, recently, he's made arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, Islam Makhachev, vacate his belt when he came out on social media saying that he wanted to be a double champ. Not just move up, but be a double champ. But Dana White put his foot down. Same thing happened with Ilya earlier this year or late last year. I forgot exactly when that happened. But all of a sudden, Jon Jones, all of a sudden he's making these fighters vacate their belts. But Jon Jones is still holding on to the fucking heavyweight belt, and since he's had the belt, the fucking division has gone to shit. We've got possibly, and it's not possibly, we've got the most dangerous fighter in the world just fucking sitting at home waiting for his next fight, waiting on Jon Jones, waiting on his answer, and Dana White is just over there twiddling his thumbs like, yeah, there's the GOAT, he's alright, he's living his life. Jon Jones is on social media basically doing everything but say he's not taking the fight. Maybe you could say it's some sort of negotiation tactic, but we are months, I think it's like 8 months now since Jon Jones fought Stipe Miocic, the old geezer. No offense to you, Stipe, but and there has been no announcement of a fight, no date, no contract signed, nothing. Just, I mean, we heard a couple months ago that Jon Jones wanted 6 months, but There's no word of an official date. If you did want 6 months, why not sign the contract and put the date out and put the fight out, the arena? I mean, but this guy, whether you think he's the GOAT or not, is doing stuff that no fighter in the UFC should be able to do. Whether you're a champion, the greatest of all time, or the worst fighter on the fucking roster. It's just ridiculous. And you know, we've got some great fights coming up soon. There's been some arguments that that the UFC's that they're kind of watering down the entertainment value of the UFC. Dana White's off doing boxing, and Jon Jones won't take the fight, and that the UFC is falling off. Now, I don't think the UFC is ever going to fall off, because people just love the sport of MMA so much. You can tune in to the first fight on the card or the last fight, the main event on the card, and see one of the most entertaining fights that you'll ever see. You can see a brutal knockout or a boring wrestling match. But either way, you are going to be entertained. You're going to be watching. But the problem is that the sport isn't growing as much as it should be, and as much as it could be with a guy like Tom Aspinall, the absolute brutal murderer that he is, at the front of the heavyweight division. But instead, we're waiting on Jon Jones to make up his mind. And unfortunately, we might have to wait for a lot longer, and we might never get that fight, and Tom Aspinall might have just sat out a year for no good reason, and wasted a year of his prime. We probably missed 1 or 2 brutal knockouts because of him holding the belt, and it's just really a shame. It's really a shame that he gets to get away with it. No other athlete, I think, in the world could get away with this. LeBron James couldn't get away with it in the NBA. Maybe Tom Brady could probably do. Tom Brady could get away with anything, if we're being honest. Tom Brady got away with so much. That's neither here nor there. But Jon Jones is not Tom Brady. Okay? Jon Jones, if you're saying it, Jon Jones is like, in my opinion, this is what I compare it to him. He's like a Dr. J. He's like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or a Magic Johnson. Sure, at the time, they were the greatest of all time, but they weren't a Michael Jordan. They weren't a LeBron James. He's not a Michael Jordan. He's not a LeBron James. He's not this undisputed GOAT, and I think it's not going to be long until somebody comes around and just absolutely has an amazing resume and just knocks Jon Jones right out of there with no PED scandals, no pregnancy, car crashes, or punching of women. Rumors going around, hiding under cages for days or hours to dodge drug tests. There's gonna be, and he could be in the UFC right now. It could be Islam Makhachev. It could be Ilia Topuria. It could be one of those. It could be a guy that's on the come up, Paddy Pimblett. Plenty of guys. One of them. And I'm probably not one of the fighting nerds. I just don't think they're at that level, at least not yet. But I just don't think Jon Jones is a Michael Jordan. And as much as he wants to be, he is great. But, he's got his scandals. He's got his issues. And he has to reap what he sowed. And him holding onto the belt is just making it even worse for him. He's given people plenty of arguments to say that he's not the greatest, unfortunately. And this just keeps adding to it. And, maybe if he went out there and just absolutely starched the young murderer, the 100% finish rate murderer that is Tom Aspinall, then he might have an argument to be a Michael Jordan or a LeBron James. But for now, I don't put him in that category. I think maybe right now he's the greatest. But again, somebody's going to come up with an undeniable resume and just blow his resume and legacy of ducking and dodging certain matchups and PED, all that stuff out of the water. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.